and learning how to play this mode much sooner, because this is actually a pretty cool that much in my current new setup and all of that stuff. And I'm going to talk about some things about my setup that I've learned over the last couple of weeks. And there's a final setup that I think I'm going to set up. All right, so let me just talk a little bit about my current setup. I don't have the ion anymore. Field equipment by choice is stun grenades, because I think that like these stun grenades don't work at all with the robots, but they work on almost everything else. I mean, I could say that about a lot of stuff, but I like the fact that they stun them, and then after I stun them, then I could just kill them. So, I mean, a lot of these things work. I mostly did this when I was playing solo, the nightmares, but I could switch it to anything else. But this is what I currently have right now at this moment. So regardless of what main primary weapon I switch it to, I'm always going to have these two. I love to run much quicker with this, the way I have it set up. And as I'm running around, right, there's a chance that the enemy might try to like shoot me. And there's a lot of times if he shoots me, he might just, the graviton rounds might just, he'll just disappear and I can just keep on running. That's the reason why I have it set up like this. I'm going to switch this up a little bit, but I get more into that later. I might keep it, I'm going to definitely switch this up, and I'm going to explain why. Let me just talk about my abilities real quick. All right. I've been using a lot of these abilities. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like as much, and some of them is far away from like the way I play. I didn't even try to even attempt even using it. And that's, those two is Phantom. I never like was that interested in that. I never even used it, to be honest with you. Unless somebody gives me a good reason to, I'm not going to use this. And the other one is Daredevil. To me, I think I'm not going to say that they're terrible or bad, right? I'm just going to say that they don't fit my style of play. So I'm just going to choose to not use those. And I'm just going to, I can explain why, and I can make the video much longer than it needs to be. But I'm just going to leave it at that and move on. So let me talk about the two abilities that I like the most. Like the most. Not the ones I only like, but the two that I like the most. And I would have to say that, let's say I had to pick just one ability, right? And just one ability to play with. I think that I would probably go with Tactician. Tactician is my favorite, only because, for a couple of reasons. I hold more equipment. I like using more equipment. I can throw the equipment much faster. So anytime, like I'm playing, whether it's zombies or this, anytime I'm in a jam, I got to think of a way to get out of a jam. And the way that I can definitely get out of a jam in this game is having more equipment, but so I can throw them and I can get myself out of that jam. But with that being said, the other reason why too is you got a major and minor abilities. I like matter of fact, I'll just show you. I like to use Crash Cart, and I like to use the jump. Some people like to use the grappling hook. I like to use the kinetic jump. To each his own. I know how to use both, but that's what I prefer. I like to use Crash Cart because it picks me up. It's like a self-revive. All the other ones, did I try them? No. But to me, they're irrelevant because if I die, I like the way they get picked back up. And that's the one I'm going to go with. So anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to go back to Tactician. Tactician, right? I like to run around the map, go to different sites or whatever. And I like the fact that if I use the kinetic jump, it's going to charge up much faster with this because of this recharger. It's going to recharge it. And a lot of times when I'm gliding to a certain area, right, by the time I land down, it's already charged back up for me to use another one. So grappling hooks, I'm going to state this for the record, that they charge much faster naturally than the jumper does, but I prefer the jumper more. So even if I did switch over to grappling, I still would probably like this more. I would just grapple much more. But overall, I like that for this ability. I like the fact that I can hold more equipment, throw more equipment much faster. After I throw equipment that can boost my area so I can move around much quicker. I like the fact that like when I'm shooting an enemy, every time I shoot a couple of bullets, I get a few bullets back. You know, not a full exchange, but if I'm like shooting my ammo a lot, I'm gonna get some of that ammo back. So I have less of a chance of running out of ammo because of this. But the other thing that I really didn't care that much for, and I didn't know how it works exactly, was this pinata thing. I didn't really know how it works at first, to be honest with you. But let me just say this to make it simple for anybody that doesn't like fully get this. There's a lot of times when I play zombies, right? There's some times when I will put on an ability for crowd control purposes. Like for example, let me see. What's a good example? Okay, the graviton rounds. I like the fact that like every now and then it will activate, and any enemies that's near you, that would like go gravitate into like a purple hole, black hole, and they just disappear, right? And all of the ones that's around me, or I can use the Molotov rounds, which is fireworks, and I can just shoot all the enemies around me, right? Now, I can have those on for crowd control purposes, but if I was to put on the napalm, right, like have like burnt on my weapons, anytime I have burnt on any of my weapons, I'm always going to deal more damage. But at the trade-off is not dealing with crowd control. But because of this pinata, as I'm shooting them with burnt, every once in a while, a random Molotov will go off or a random grenade will go off within this. It's kind of like when you kill a certain enemy, he is a pinata. Like when you like strike a pinata, like a prize comes out. So basically what they're saying is every now and then when you kill an enemy, a grenade will just like keep my burnt, and every now and then a Molotov will go off on their own. Is it the same as having multi rounds, having that? No, but it helps a little bit. At the same time, I'm dealing more damage. So overall, I liked everything about Tactician. My second favorite one is Berserker. There are a lot of times when I died from fall damage. You know, I died. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had Tactician, so I was able to pick myself back up again. But to use a crash cart because the fact that I can fly around and not worry about fall damage.